Okay, so this is like, you know, I'm trying to watch the television while the sound is coming in. I'm disorientated inside my own place. In other words, your actual balance, even physically, is out of sync. You're almost falling over because of this continual sound that is a certain frequency and vibration. It doesn't even matter, it doesn't have to be really loud, but when you can see how it's stopped now or gone lower, because I'm recording. I can't actually show this, but it's very much a frequency vibration push and pull between humanity and artificial intelligence. You're in a totally artificially intelligent constructed reality around you if you are a human being, and you won't know it until they've surrounded you with their minions in their thousands and thousands. The internet is a copycat imitation form of humanity. The few human beings who might be down the bottom will be in so low subscribers, but don't forget that they're always up on anything. They're always one step ahead, so they have pretend human beings pretending to be victims, pretending to be persecuted, pretending to be part of creation, or pretending to be real. None of them are, but you only understand this when you avoid what they're saying. Because don't forget, they also copy the human's word. So every word that I use, which is the human word, the artificial intelligence is connected to my brain, so therefore they imitate everything I think and say. And so I look like just a copycat like they really are. That's the name of the game. And the demigods of the past matrix, the androgyne beings, you can tell the others by the reality that they are a duality androgyne being, usually. Usually, that is the case. And they are your past, present, and of course, they copy the words. So if I said talented, I use the word talented, and beautiful, so therefore, and old. Actresses of the old time, old movies, old Hollywood, all this sort of stuff which you see being downloaded before your eyes. The sound is coming through there from the back. There's no need for them to be making any of that noise for the actual work they're doing. If I went round and showed it, and if there were real work people who understand the mechanics of the machines they're using, in other words, the the actual machines, they would know, and they would tell me, if they were real humans, that they can do all that construction, like when they're digging the ditches, without making all that excessive sound. That's all artificial intelligent contrived sound. In other words, it's deliberately sent into my place at a particular frequency and vibration to control my emotions and to control my state of mind. That sounds bizarre to most people, but it is the reality. And when you realise that everything being done to you, even inside your own place, where you actually know, even though I don't understand construction, I know that there's no need for those particular vehicles to be making all that noise. Just as the beeping sound that every truck and every vehicle now makes when they're pulling in and out. Completely unnecessary. It's all designed to pretend that it's about safety, but it's really about drawing attention to themselves and suppressing human beings. That's the real reality of it. But they have to make it legitimate. It never is. I remember 40, 50 years ago, the same construction's being done, and they didn't make any noise hardly at all. Now they do the slightest little thing, and they have this excuse with these high-powered vehicles and tools, just as all the traffic makes ridiculously obscene loud noise as it goes past you, every vehicle, whereas they should be quieter, because the technology means that everything should be quieter. just like everything is smaller. But instead, around me, everything is louder. And everything is loud everywhere you go. If you decided to sit anywhere, there would be either someone making mechanical sound, or even sometimes if they don't make mechanical sound, they'll even have the artificial tenants to make really loud music sound. And it will always be oppressive, negative music, like bang, 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 something that you find mentally disturbing. But it all looks as though it's plausible, even though if you understand and really thought about it, or if you were experiencing it, you would know that it's not plausible. But it's only me that's experiencing it. And the rest is total mind control and total deception on the internet. Not just past, present and future, because when I look at my old demigod movie stars, they are distinctly not natural creations, and they're inverted. They're inverted, converted duality beings. They're the best of both worlds, except that when you do that, you become separated from nature and from creation, and from you become technical. So you become a disciple of the technical God entity that controls Earth. So you have different species in a human body. So you have different species in a human body, and that's the main deception. That's the reality that it's I know, no, we don't know. It's just that I'm trying to concentrate on holding the mobile, and I've got that oppressive sound coming in, which is deliberately, subliminally, as they say, going into my subconscious mind and creating havoc. It's designed by the powers that be to control little remaining human beings, because humanity, or real humans, are now in very small numbers in most areas. And the reason for that is because we've been gradually eliminated one by one. Also, I would imagine that the human population was never as large as what we thought, which is why they send people to start it up always. In other words, to start up new bloodlines type of thing, or the old bloodline to continue on Earth, so that artificial intelligence doesn't contaminate everything, which it has. See how it's stopped now, it's gone. This is how it should sound, like this. See, I was talking over that rather than just trying to show the sound. I'm just going to show some divine demigod androgynes from the past, if I can. If I can do that, I will. Because, better turn that down. Because, I'm just going to show the images. I'm only sorry that I can't make proper videos, but it matters not, because the demigods will make the videos, or the android fake people on the internet will make the better videos. They'll be doing exactly what I'm doing. They imitate and copy everything. So I'm wasting my time and energy here even doing this. This actual video is an android video. And it was not made 5 years ago like it actually said. It's actually downloaded right now. As soon as I think about old Hollywood and these old movie stars, they come up onto the screen for me, and they're downloaded directly from my mind. Of course, they are also perhaps they might be interpreted slightly different to my actual original thing, but it's still basically taking the basic idea from the human mind, which I think you'd understand. You know, I think we would understand that. That's 1930s, so-called 1930s, so the demigods have been around a long time, as you can imagine. The sound is now starting up again, very gradually and slowly. Here it comes to suppress me. And it's louder for me because I've been sensitized to excessive sound every day for the last 7.5 years now. So it causes a gradual change in my whole mind. It's total mind control. I no longer have my own reality or my own mind because I'm always surrounded by this suppressive sound system, suppressive sight and sound system. Inside the house, it's the sound system. If I go onto the internet, it's deception and seduction through the demigods and the androids that control the internet, the pretend human beings. And when I go outside, I have a sight and sound system continually around me. So that means that I've always got an artificially intelligent show going on around me to suppress my senses. In other words, to take over my mind and my reality. Because if everywhere I look I see patrollers, and everywhere I look I have bright flashing lights, and everywhere I go you have this oppressive sound system going on. Even now I feel sick, but not real sick, but sick. Like I don't feel that I have any reality. I feel that this noise going on around me, these beings, they're an army. They're an army of androids that want control and that want to not let you have your life. And that tells me then that why are they doing this? Because if it was just a few people, you'd think that it was personal. And it is personal, but it's personal by a whole artificially intelligent reality or system around you. That, unbeknown to me, over time, this artificial intelligence system has taken over the entire area. It's like a buzzing, humming, loud sound in my ears for hour after hour inside the house. Of course, if I got those expensive, big, huge headphones like these androids are all wearing that are not only doing the construction but even the neighbours and people around, I wouldn't hear it. But that means that I've eliminated one of my senses. So I have to sit inside my house hearing nothing. So if I want to watch something there, or even if I want to just take in natural sounds, they're not available to me. I'm not allowed to have a natural reality, in other words. It's one thing to say, oh, you're using the computer and going onto the internet. You know you're being seduced there. I know I'm dealing with false idols, false icons, they're conning me. They're all icons. From the smallest to the largest, to the biggest to the smallest, to the pretend little human beings like yourself, to the demigods, to your world-famous players. They're all the same. There's very few real humans that will be allowed even to express themselves on the internet. And if you are, they will make sure that no one hears you. If you go on there like I'm doing, I will never reach a large market. I'll never reach my own kind, a real human, and I'll also never reach a large market. And if I do, something will happen to suppress that. Like when I was going live, when I had that capacity on this mobile, just a few years ago, they staged an incident to where only people who had more than 1,000 subscribers could go live, because I was starting to get a few people talking. In other words, they were not talking to me, but they were talking amongst themselves and interested in the conversations and some of the ideas, because they were probably becoming awake or aware human beings of the technical reality. And this is like 5 years ago, 6 years. 6 years, in fact. That was where I ended up being railroaded into closing it all down and starting again. And even that was with great difficulty. Even now, I don't know why I'm even doing this. See how it stopped as soon as I was going to stop talking so you could hear the suppressive sound? See, this is the problem, is that they're connected to my mind with the transhuman technology. They don't have to make any of that sound to do that construction. Those vehicles shouldn't make that particular sound. They made less sound 50 years ago using those same types of, doing that same job. Doing exactly the same construction. But people, the androids, will say, no, that's always been the case, or no, that's what they call gaslighting you by the timeline. I'm no expert, but I saw construction over a lifetime, and you know that that is unnecessary, that it's just as human suppression. It's staged around me, because otherwise they couldn't make all this sound suppression into my place unless they stage these extra loud constructions where they if this was only like a small amount of time, it wouldn't affect you, but it's daily. It's year after year, daily, everywhere you go. Anyone who was experiencing the same as me would know that it was an artificial technical reality. But I'm separated and segregated and confined to where I can't even communicate, where no one else sees it happening to me. And if they did, they would only get a sample of it, so they'd probably think it was temporary. See, that's the name of the game too. If someone's standing with me here now, they think this is temporary. They don't think that it's been going on for 7.5 years and that it's a human suppression system around me. They would say, yes, it's very annoying, but they would think it hasn't been going on every day, and it doesn't go on every day. And that it doesn't go on everywhere you go. But it does. And it kills you. And that's what it is. It's what they call a slow kill in scientific terms, at a frequency, vibration, and even scientific medical level. It's not about being strong or weak, it's about the reality that if you, as a human being, are listening to negative, subliminally suppressive technical sounds really loud and continual every day, that mentally affects you. Even the strongest, most powerful human being will eventually succumb to it. That is the truth, and they know it too. And human beings, if they experienced it, they know it. But of course, usually you're talking to an android, so they pretend that that isn't anything. And they also pretend that it's all necessary because they're part of that program. That's the end game for humanity, unfortunately. And it's been the end game for a long time because the demigods have been demigods have been fooling me on the screen for a long time, you know. Demigods have been fooling me for a long time. Long time. They're even surrounding me in the place. I do hope their energy isn't still controlling me. It probably is. See, these are your divine androgyne beings. They are not real life natural human beings. They're not, but they represent real life man-woman, but in reality they are man-woman androgyne beings because they combine the best of both worlds in the demigods, but in reality, and I think you can see it here too in some of these images that unfortunately I have not planned these videos. So if I had my right state of mind and had someone to help me with the computer and editing and all that sort of stuff, I could search all the different old demigod images. But this one just came up of this. This is called Marlene Dietrich. She was a German icon of the magic movie world in the 1930s and 40s. And much admired and idolised by many. She represented a very fantasy female, a fantasy femme fatale, some would say, in the movies. But as you can see, this is from the 1930s, and she's showing you her duality nature openly in the movies and in many pictures. Many. This particular one was a lot more open about its nature and its origins and what it was. And but it also, of course, then changes your perception, I think, of what is natural too. But, you know, how can you not be fooled? How can I not be fooled? How can you not be fooled? And the answer to that is, you will be, and I was, and everyone still is, because although these are like a long time ago now, the demigods of today, the movie stars of today are no different to Harlow of the 1930s. This particular movie goddess So obviously an elite demigod androgyne being, and yet I could pick out some colour pictures too, which would show these images so much better. And unfortunately I just have not planned this video, so it just came up now. So unfortunately these images are not picked. I would like to pick the best of them to show the images, but I can't pick the best out. And also I tend to pick the ones that are like more, well, I guess I'm being seduced because I pick the ones that I think represent the best, but they all do. It's just that each person will have a different taste. You know, each person will have a different taste, in other words, of what they think is, you know, seductive, shall we say, in the femme fatale female form. They're all femme fatales, no matter how innocent or you know, sweet or whatever word you want to use you see them as. They're all femme fatales. They're all seducing human beings into thinking that they're something, that they're actually a reverse being. You know, so that's the thing. Just trying to show the best of them, but I don't know if I am. Oh, I'm probably not getting it in. I'm not getting it in, I don't think. These are very famous ones of the past. Very famous of the past. Very famous of the past. Just trying to show some of these. These were regarded as the most glamorous and most beauticious of the 1940s, and so I'm going to pick them, let them speak for themselves, you know. '40s, 1950s. Oh, I don't think I can show that. Oh. Oh, okay, that's it. That's it. The sound is being stopped now, and as soon as I press stop on the record knob, then the sound starts up because it's connected to my mind. This is advanced artificial intelligence technology being implemented around human beings, and I'm aware of it because it's continual and everywhere and everything I look at. And everything I see and hear, the plane going over right now, the sound starting up out here, and as soon as I press stop it will start up louder, and it actually starts to vibrate through the whole house. I'll just show you that it's coming from there. See, can you see how there's that machine going there? Look, oh, it just comes. See, as soon as I looked, it come to suppress me, to take over not just my sound but my sight. See how it's right there? Just past that fence that's right outside the place where I am. See? Unnecessary for that machine to make as much noise, but it actually was making much louder before, but when I went to press the record knob they cut it off, because that shows me that they're mind playing with the technology with my mind, and that they know my every move. Not just what I'm doing, but even what I'm actually about to do. That's the reality for us. That's the human reality, and most humans don't realise that technology is not being used for your benefit, unfortunately. Not when it will seduce you like the demigods and then will change your mind or completely take over your life. But this is from from the power beings that control Earth. Everyone who's anyone that controls Earth, you have to look at it that way, that you have to look at it that way. They make up false tales, false life stories for all these beings too. They make up human life stories, so you not only admire them as being superior to you in some way, but also you will relate to them. This is how I know. I know because I see this,